He asked, "Where have you been since yesterday?" His voice was low, sharp, and full of unease. She looked at him, her lips trembling, but she didn't answer right away. The silence between them was heavier than any words could be, and the weight of it burned through his chest. He leaned forward, his fists clenching as though bracing himself for the truth. She finally whispered, "What do you mean by that?" Her tone was defensive, yet her eyes shifted away, avoiding his gaze. That single gesture told him more than any explanation could. He felt a deep sting in his heart. The suspicion that had been haunting him for days now growing into certainty. He had waited all night for her, but she hadn't returned. And now her excuse felt hollow before it even left her lips. "You're not interested," he said flatly, his words slicing through the air like a blade. She flinched at the accusation, but she didn't argue. He saw the hesitation in her, the way her hands twisted nervously in her lap. She wanted to say something, but she couldn't form the lies quickly enough. That silence was his answer, and it shattered something inside him. For months, he had been noticing the distance, her late nights, her cold replies, her distracted eyes whenever he spoke. He thought it was stress, work, or maybe just exhaustion. But now, as she sat there, her phone buzzing on the table and her face pale, he knew the truth he had been running from. Someone else had her attention. Someone else had stolen what used to be his. "Tell me who he is," he demanded, his voice trembling with a mixture of rage and heartbreak. She froze, her eyes darting to the buzzing phone, then back to him. Her silence once again confirmed what he already knew. He reached for the phone, but she snatched it quickly, holding it tightly as though it was her last defense. That single act destroyed the last thread of trust he still held on to. "You can't even look me in the eyes anymore," he said bitterly. His chest heaved, and for the first time tears threatened to fall. He had given her everything, his love, his loyalty, his dreams, but in return, she had given her heart to another. She finally whispered, "I didn't mean for this to happen." Those words were worse than any, knife to his soul. His world spun. He remembered the nights they had shared laughter, the promises they had made under the stars, the plans of a future together. All of it now lay in ruins, swept away by betrayal. "So it happened," he muttered. His hands trembled, his voice cracked, but his eyes stayed fixed on her. She lowered her head in shame, unable to answer. He stood up abruptly, the chair scraping the floor. The noise made her flinch, but she still didn't beg him to stay. That silence confirmed everything. She had already chosen someone else. He felt his heart tearing apart, his dreams collapsing in front of him, yet she sat motionless, her guilt heavy but not enough to bring her back to him. "I gave you everything," he whispered, his voice breaking. "But you gave me nothing but lies." She finally looked at him, tears glistening in her eyes, but they no longer had the power to touch him. He had reached the end, the point of no return. All the love inside him had been poisoned by her betrayal. He walked toward the door, every step heavier than the last. She called his name softly, almost desperately, but it was too late. The damage was done. He didn't look back, because he knew if he did, he might crumble, and he couldn't let her see his weakness anymore. Outside, the night was cold, cruel, and unforgiving. He lit a cigarette with shaking hands, inhaling deeply to calm the storm inside him. But the bitterness in his chest wouldn't fade. Her words echoed in his mind, replaying like a curse. "I didn't mean for this to happen." Lies. Every word, every gesture, lies that had killed the man he once was. He thought of their future that would never be, the children they had dreamed of, the home they had built with fragile hope. All of it gone, reduced to dust by her choice. The betrayal cut deeper than any wound, and he realized nothing could heal it. Love had turned into poison, and trust into ashes. When he reached the corner of the street, he pulled out his phone and deleted every picture, every message, every memory of her. His hands trembled, but his decision was final. She was no longer a part of his life, just a painful ghost that would haunt him forever. Meanwhile, inside the apartment, she collapsed onto the floor, sobbing. But her tears were not for him. They were for the comfort she had lost, not the love she had betrayed. She picked up her phone, typing a message to the man she had chosen over him, sealing the fate she had created. And just like that, the story of their love ended badly, not with forgiveness, not with healing, but with broken trust, shattered dreams, and a love that had rotted beyond repair. He walked into the night alone, while she sank deeper into the arms of another, both lost, but neither together ever again.